Hey guys and girls, welcome back to the channel. How's everybody doing? So in today's video, it's not going to be anything super exciting or epic, but it is going to be quite informational. This is a how-to video. So I have my Traxxas X-Maxx here. This is my stock X-Maxx. Other than the body being upgraded, everything else is stock on it. I haven't upgraded nothing. I've kept everything as original as possible, and I've done a water crossing with this one. And it got submerged, and the only thing I ended up burning out was the receiver. So I put a receiver, and so I could put it on my other remote wherever it's at up there. That's the only things I've changed. But in today's video, I'm gonna try to keep it short and simple and sweet as possible. I'm not gonna do a lot of talking. The GoPro is gonna be up here, and you guys are gonna be watching from above as I work on it. I'm only gonna talk if I need to make a note about something. So in today's video, I'm going to be putting this Traxxas 2085X all metal gear servo. This is an upgraded servo. It's still made by Traxxas, but it's a lot tougher than the stock servo. So today I'm going to be putting this in there and showing you guys how to do it and the proper way to do it. And so if you're wanting to upgrade your servo in your X-Maxx, or yours has gone bad and you don't know how to do it, you can watch this video and you're going to see exactly how to do it. With that being said, let's get started. Alright guys, here we go. So here's the X-Maxx. I took the body off of it already. And here's all the tools I think I'm going to need for this job. I got my set of Allen head bits that are by hand. And then I got all these bits for my drills. This is to take off the tires. I don't know if I have to do that yet, but I'm going to try not to probably. Little magnet screwdrivers. Use these to get the screws out when you can't reach them with your fingers. Here's the servo for the X-Maxx that I'm going to put in there. It's a 2085X. This is an all metal gear servo, and I've put these in my X-Maxxes for a while now, and I haven't been able to break any of them. I got these little metal containers here. This is what I use to put my parts in as I go. You're gonna notice I'm gonna keep the parts from the top in one bin, the parts from one area in another bin, the parts from the bottom in another bin, and that's how I keep everything separated, so when I go to put it back together, I know how it goes. Alright guys, let's get started. So I'm gonna take all the screws out of the top first, and then we're gonna flip it over, and I'm gonna take all the screws out of the bottom so I can separate this. That's the first thing I gotta do. So let's get started. So all that's done for now. Let's flip it over. Okay, so we got to take this off. This is all a matter of personal preference, guys, but I like these big parts like this that you have to take off, I like to just keep the screws that go in them. That way you know when you go to put it back, it's already set up and ready. That's just a personal preference. Everybody has their own way of mechanicking. That's how I do it. So now I got to remove these 4 here. Now it's separate, guys. Nope, maybe it's not quite. I got more up here. These 2 here, take them out. Over here. Now let's see if it's ready to come apart. Something's still holding there. I'm not sure what. There we go. Just anything apart, so it's kind of stuck right now. Now we gotta do this right here. Or we're gonna take it apart here. That's not the right size. And there we go, just split in half. See that, guys? Now, in a minute, before I put all this back together, this whole piece, I'm going to take my air compressor and I'm going to blow it all out. I'm going to blow all that sand out of there. I'm going to blow all the dirt off the shocks. I'm going to blow as much dirt as I can out of the bearings. I'm going to go over this whole piece, guys, and blow it out with my air compressor. That's how you help take good care of stuff. When you already have it apart like that, it's easy to blow the whole thing out. So now we have this. Here's the drive shaft. That can stay back there. Right here, if you guys can see, that's the blue servo. These are the cheap ones. The blue ones, they have plastic gears in them. So now I gotta take that out of there. First I need to take this servo horn off. There it is, guys. Need to check that servo horn while I'm at it. It's still good. See the teeth in there? If those get rounded off, or if there's any kind of stripping going on in there, you got to replace this piece. But this is still good, so that tells me my problem is definitely with the servo. Alright guys, so now we need to get this servo out of here. It's with these, I don't know if you can see up there. It's with this screw, and this screw. That's how this servo mounts in there, is with these little ears. It's not like any other servo. The way it mounts in there is not like any other servo. So right now I am going to take those screws loose. And get that servo out of there, and then I got to track the wire back to figure out which one it is in the receiver and pull it through the hole. There we go. So now the servo should be loose. Turn it back over like it is. Out of the way. So there we go. You can see this is far right here. So now I'm going to track right here to the receiver. Where it says spinning the receiver. Remember when that goes, you got to put the servo back in the same hole. Now I got to put that finger in their side and I'm going to hold it with these pliers like that. Pop it out of there. Now, got to feed it through here. I have to get those screws to help feed it through there. Pop it out like this. Feed it through the hole. I got some of this grease stuff on here to help waterproof it. I'm going to put that back on here. There it is, guys. There's the old servo out. Put that aside. You don't need that no more. Get this new servo ready. There's the new one. The good servos, so you know, on these guys are the ones that have the gray body and the black aluminum around it. This is an all metal gear servo. I haven't been able to break any of these. They're tough. Compared to the regular blue one, these are tough. So now we got to go back in the hole with the wire. Like so. Push it through here, like that. And because I have an aftermarket servo in here, or receiver in here, excuse me, aftermarket receiver, it doesn't have this little notch like a Traxxas receiver will have, and this is a Traxxas servo. So I gotta cut this little tab off of here to make this servo go in that receiver. Just get you a little X-Acto knife and trim this little plastic tab off of the side right here. Just like this. Make it nice and smooth.
Don't have that notch there. That's pretty much it, guys. Now I can put this into here, just like what the other was. Right in the hole. I'll make sure it's all the way down. Took the wire out of the way. Now I can flip this back up like this. And I'll shove that extra wire down there, like that. And lay this back down just like the old one was. Just like that. Get your bit here. I always use this screwdriver for tightening because it's only a 12 volt. And I keep it set on like 2 or 3, real low setting. By doing that, it's making sure that I don't have too much power running straight stuff out. So I like using the screwdriver, especially put it back in. You're taking them out, you're not worried about too much. When you put them in, you want something that's not going to screw everything. Bada bing. Bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. There it is, guys. Servo is all the way back in there. I'm going to put this one back on as well. Like so. Just like that, guys. Pop together, back together just like a puzzle.
That's what Kevin Talbot's always talking about how well the X-Maxx is designed and how easy it is to work on. Because the way it's modular like this, I mean, this thing is simple, guys. It comes apart like a puzzle coming apart and goes together like a puzzle going together. And it's not a hard puzzle either. It's kind of easy. You can tell how everything goes, and it's just real simplified. It's a great design. Whoever come up with the design is a genius. The engineering that went into this is just remarkable. All right, guys, that's all back on now. All right, guys, here we go. I got my remote out for the truck, and if you notice, I got the batteries in it. And I got this part all blown off. All the sand that was in there and all the dirt that was on it, in the bearings and everywhere, I blew it off with high pressure. So this is all clean and ready to go now. So the next step now is the servo's back in and plugged in. The next step now is to turn the controller on, plug the truck in, make sure your steering trim is in the center. You want the steering trim in the very center. And you want to turn the truck on. Try the steering, make sure it's working. It is. And then again, double check your steering trim and make sure it's in the very center, because you want that that servo to be right dead center, so everything's right later. So that's all good now.
Now turn the truck off. Turn the remote off. Unplug it. Tight. Take the batteries back out of it. Now we gotta do it back again, guys. You put the servo one on there. Put this in there. Figure out 150. What's this one? Okay, that way, this back over here. Put the drive shaft back in. I think now, so we gotta put that in here. Put that in there, so that's back in now.
Just trying to figure out where it lines up, where the tires are centered. And I think it's straight up and down, if I can tell, right? Yep, it is just straight up and down, guys. So now we can put this servo horn on there because we know how it goes. Needs to go as close to straight up and down as we can get. So it looks like right there is pretty good, guys. Looks straight up and down to me. Alright, guys, we're ready to hook the two pieces back together now. Here we go, you ready?
So sorry. Stop this moment, guys. Try this a little bit different, guys. So I can see this was stopping this drive shaft, so I need to be able to get it lined up in there. There we go. Now it's back together, guys. So now we want to put that arm back down in that hole, like that. You put this little screw back in there. Right in there. And I probably should use one around this for this. Okay. Let me see here. See this. Let's do it.
Alright guys, so that arm's connected now. The truck's back together. So now I'm going to close these. I'm going to flip it over and put all the bottom screws in first.
Let's put this thing back together now.
As you can see, I got a 12-volt DeWalt drill, and I only got it set on the lowest setting here and only on number 2. And that's how I prevent stuff from stripping out. You don't need a lot of power. You just want it to snug up into the plastic. When it ugga-duggas, it's done. You hear that ugga-dugga? That's what Stimp and Kevin say on Kevin Talbot's channel. Funny stuff, guys. Funny stuff. Ugga-dugga. Now need this and this and this and this.
Those back in. No, let's get these two back in up here. I don't remember which ones were there. I think it was these two. Yeah, it was these two. So there's that. So I'm going to put these ones back in right here. On this side. On the other side. Oh, let's strip down a little bit, but I'm just going to leave it. That can happen.
Now we need to flip it back over. Put this piece on next. Snap it back down into place. You see I left the screws in it? Now see, look, they're all ready for me to go and zip them in.
It's fast, guys. That's why I do some of the things the way I do it, it's faster. Especially having power tools. That's genius. You don't want anything with power tools. You gotta make sure you do it right. You don't have a lot of power, especially when you put the screws back in. That's done. I'm gonna put this piece back on. And we need to put some plastic washers on there, at least 2 of them. And I'm gonna put the last one. So now, okay, you know what, better. Instead of everything, I think these screws will go into the tubes maybe without these. So I'm gonna just I'll have to keep them falling off there. Down there. Oh, come on, guys. It's following it. Get that done. Oop. Didn't get this down like it's supposed to be. Well, let's see how we back off, guys. Yeah, there we go. Gotta get that back down there. There we go. Things moving ahead, guys. Not perfect gap right there, just gonna go, guys. 2 screws left now, guys. Right here. Snug them up.
That's it. Done, guys. No screws left in the containers. Nothing but my tools left on the table. All steering's hooked back up. Receiver covers back on. New servo in. Steering looks straight. So now let's see how it does. Put the batteries back in this little booger. Right there. Plug her in. Turn the controller on. Turn the truck on. Now let's test out this steering, guys. Ooh, yeah. Nice. Back to like brand new, better than new actually. This servo is way stronger than this blue servo. These things are junk. The stock servo that comes in there is terrible. They don't have no power from the get-go. But this servo, this 2085X, is a good servo, guys. That's gonna conclude this video. So the steering is all good. It recenters. Now next time I drive it, I'll set it to where it goes straight down the road and I'm good to go. Everything's back to perfect. This truck is fixed now. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, if it helped you out. If you're new and you like RC content, consider subscribing. And that's the end of the video, guys. I'll see you next time. Next video is probably going to be a range test or something with my drone. Later, guys.